All right, I put in so many articles, many paywalled articles because they're just so goddamn rude, asking what companies we're gonna have benefiting. Now, GEV, they're on a super high, obviously, as you can see, and then only a 0.06% dividend. So everybody knows Boeing. Boeing, talk about a comeback. These motherfuckers. These blowing motherfuckers. No dividend on Boeing yet, dicks. And they're here today. They've been rising, making the comeback. Here you have other scandals. Actually, you could go back to 2018. 2018. Oh, you can't go back to 2018. Damn, time does fly when they had those two bad ones in 2018, 2019. But nothing stops these motherfuckers. Nothing. There they are. That was when they did the missile, or they did a jet deal with us too. So Boeing, I don't know what it is about them. These motherfuckers. I'm not even gonna look these motherfuckers up. What's the difference with some of them, but fuck them. And then you have General Dynamics. Let's see what these guys, they're not nice either. Not fucking nice. Yeah, what are they at? General Dynamics, you could say. I'm not going to say they're struggling. And they have a 2.05% dividend. So they are making our weapons. Now this could finally be something for AMD. They have been struggling. People really like AMD on X. Me personally, I just think they're going to struggle against Jensen. I don't think Wall Street likes female CEOs. I've said that numerous times, but AMD definitely has room for growth. Nvidia would be my personal favorite, obviously. I don't think you go wrong with the man Jensen. And you know what else? This is very good for Jensen, because I've been wondering if Trump's making him give all this money for the $500,000 for the factories and the Stargates here and stuff. Look at him. Look at him. The man Jensen, he's making a comeback. But I was wondering, like, how is he? This is not going to be good for Nvidia shareholders if he has to dish out all this money to make all these goddamn factories from scratch. But now, this is definitely, he's getting the money from the Saudis, Qatar, and the Emiratis. Good all around for Jensen. Google. Now, this is where people underestimate Google. And you got Larry Page and Sergey Brin, those sick fucking freaks. And then, man, Google's on such a low. And whatever Trumperton gets over there, money, presents, golden necklaces, jets, ideas. And Google, they're all police states. So if you look up, wait, there was the one news story about Trump wants to, like, a federal head of police or something. That is very bullish for Google. Not that good for, transparency or whatnot. Maybe it'll be good for transparency. I don't know if I can find that one. I can't think of off the top of my head. But Google, if he's getting police stating ideas, super good for Google. Oracle, Larry Ellison, this motherfucker, him and Trumper, they're boys. They're homies. They go to the fights together. That is like the highest honor for men to go to the fights together, I think. It's like the gladiator events, literally. So, the fact that Oracle, friends with Trump, Larry Ellison, and then on top of these deals, chef's kiss for Oracle. But they are on a down. Wait a minute. Does Oracle even have a dividend? I bet they don't. That asshole. Oracle has a 1.6% dividend, 1.06. That's not bad. See, I don't like to go into pricey stocks unless they have a dividend. Then I can... But Oracle, Larry Ellison, he's such a fucking freak. I don't know if I could do that. But then you have, probably could have if I got in low enough. This one's Salesforce. A lot of politicians are on Salesforce. They're at a decent high. And then do they have a dividend? 0.56. That's okay. Not really. Google does have a dividend. Google's dividend, 0.48. But then they have another one, GOOGL, and those, that can be confusing. It's just two different voting rights on the shares. Uber, my favorite. I think Uber. And you know what's not on this list that I would like to add to the list? Not included. Just because these companies are very involved with Uber. Look at Uber. I've always said it. I've always said that Dara former Expedia CEO. Now in the sense of Dara, he is not a founder of Uber. So sometimes the founder companies, they might have this like higher status. You got Tesla and Elon. You got Mark, Lizard King, Meta. You have Jaddy, but Jaddy, he's still the majority shareholder. Same with Google. Same with Microsoft. These motherfuckers don't leave their companies. They just stick another motherfucker to stand there in front of them. So Uber has this guy Dara, and I just think I like him. I think he can do shit. Uber CEO. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not even gonna try it. But I believe in Dara. He's a savage, nice and young, 55 years old, and he was doing this Saudi AI driving Uber. And the reason I would say this, Uber to debut autonomous vehicles in Saudi, that's also Google, because they're using the Waymo cars. So anything that's going on with Google and self-driving is going to be helpful for Google, more bullish on Google. There's no way Google stays at these lows. And they did this self-driving vehicles like a conference, okay? And I would say, Aora, that's your autonomous trucking. And you're not going to tell me these motherfuckers want autonomous everything. Because, I mean, they already kind of have this sort of like, you know, how the kafala system works. You could say it's almost like neo-slavery. But if they could eliminate that, you better believe they will. So definitely Aurora, autonomous trucks, already launched. Anyways, okay. Serve Robotics, another one. They would love, and you know what else? Serve has been rising since this meeting. 45% up. They did have good earnings, but the earnings weren't even that much recent. The earnings were from when were their earnings? 1 week ago, and the earnings were good. Impressive. Well, they had good earnings last time too. People weren't impressed, but this is a different market. But I'm going to say Serve, because Uber's a big investor in Serve too. So not listed, but I could say Aurora and Serve. And I think they will be, they're not just going to say they gave them a deal, but it could. But if it's going to Uber, Uber can allocate things and do things on behalf of those companies. Maybe I'm speculating, okay? QCOM. People like QCOM. I hear people talk about this one. Another little pricey one. Let's see what they're in. On and down. They've got multiple. I've seen them on the other list too. So, QCOM, 2.23% dividend. That's not a bad one. What did they do for earnings? Earnings exceeded forecast. Why are they doing bad then? I don't really know anything about this company, but well, I know they're a tech one. Are they AI? They're some AI chip supply. That bullish you could be. This is interesting, the Hilton. I think what all these people want to do is like have like hubs around the world where they can kind of go and have their own little like, this isn't it. What is it? Listed infrastructure export. Hilton. Why doesn't that? Is that the Hilton hotels? Wait, I do know they are doing something with the Hilton hotels. What's their stupid thing? This one. Hilton Worldwide Holding. I feel like they want to have like, I don't know, hubs where they go and do their weirdo shit. 20.23 billionaire shit. I don't know. This one, I've heard of this. I see this. They get military contracts, Department of Defense contracts. I'm not exactly sure what they do. They do designing and deployment of technological-centric solutions. I think they do stuff with bases and stuff. Mission solutions, people and places solutions. Sure, I'm sure you guys. 0.84% dividend. Parsons Corporation, export deals tied to Saudi. I don't know what this one is. Partech, engaged in software and hardware support in the hospitality industry. No dividend. $69. What are they going to be? And they're at a pretty good up. I don't know. And then that one's ACM. Infrastructure, more infrastructure. And they are also at a high. Where'd they come from? 0.88% dividend. And 14%, 40 million market. This one, like it. MP. That one is the mining one. And my only concern with material is they only have this one mine, because that's the only one we have where we have the rare earth. But it's in California. And I looked up stuff very susceptible to natural disasters. But the Saudi money, I'm sure they would make sure that things would be protected there, like building better infrastructure and whatnot, to make sure it won't be susceptible to earthquakes. But still, you can't control that stuff. So that's why I'm hoping that NB is still going to get something. And it could depend. It also depends how money is going to be allocated here. Because here, see, such a low. We're just waiting on something for them. Then you have MP. I think it's a good one. I have a lot of MP. Wait. And then those ones are private ones. Okay. Then we would get to. This one's going to be the UAE. Okay. Obviously, Exxon. This EOG one. What is this for them? EOG Resources. You could say they're on a down. I don't know much about this one. Trinidad, sketchy. Houston, Texas. And then they have a 3.26% dividend. They are exploration of oil and natural gas. EOG, interesting. If you want the kind of Emirates global no ticker. Next decade. This one's not directly mentioned, but it's connected with one of their other investment guys. So, next. That one is your cheapest one, and not too much on up. Does this one have a dividend? No dividend. But that would be another one. Natural gas pipelines. So you're going to have next. Not directly mentioned, but indirectly partnered. And then not too many with the UAE. I think those ones are coming out at later times. I think they'll trickle out. We'll find more things. Because a lot of the money went to big private equity firms, but then they're going to invest in other things. So you could say, and then this one is interesting. This one's a quantum one, and it is not traded. This could help quantum in general, but it is public. It's partnered with JP Morgan Chase and Microsoft. So that's going to be Billy Boy. He benefits greatly from all these deals. And then, of course, Boeing, GE. Let's see what they're going to be at. They're at a height. But wait, what's GE's? 247 billion market cap, 0.52 dividend. And they're definitely going to be at Superrise. I think we already looked at those ones. This guy here is a over-the-counter. And here you have them. Their stupid chart doesn't show up. Oh, there it is. They're going to be... What was this one at? This was a pop. 13... that was them. They're at 1338. I don't know anything really about these guys, but it's interesting that they're an over-the-counter one. Obviously, usual suspects. Or Nvidia. Like I said, lots of Nvidia. Then, I asked about TMC. They got a 37. They didn't get anything from this per se, but they did get a 37 million strategic investment. And that one was going to be from Hess. So maybe this is... You could say led by Michael Hess, Chief Officer at Hess Investments, and then Brian Pays Braga, Mining Financier and Managing Partner at CEO of Lithium X. So we could hear things, because TMC, that is a valuable deep sea mining company. And then NB, I still think they can, because there's money all over, and these are valuable ones. NB is especially valuable, but they're not in production yet. And then, wait, I'm pretty sure, wait. There would have been, where's the Qatar one? Did I do this one? Yeah, no, that was all of them. Some of them doubled up, but not all of them. Obviously, there's a lot more. This is just an AI list. Well, an AI list with some checks in here. I had to do some checks.